making me upset. You're telling me that my family did it when I know they didn't. My mom understood that if anything were to happen to him, I would not talk to any of them ever again.
March of 2022, Albuquerque police are dispatched downtown to an alley behind Lindy's Diner. Witnesses describe a disturbing scene to the responding officers around 11:20 a.m. Two young men are preparing for what appears to be a fist fight when suddenly gunshots ring out. One man lays bloodied on the pavement. Another stands across from him, but he isn't holding a gun. Before anyone can act, he flees. That's when witnesses realize he isn't alone.
Did you hear anything? No, so I was walking back and I got food like a few blocks over that way at Joe's, I think it's called. Yeah, I didn't hear anything, but I saw people running.
Okay, so you saw kind of start from the beginning.
Okay, so I'm walking down Central towards my residence here.
So you're heading east on Central?
Yep.
Okay.
I get to the corner right there. There's about 5 or 6 people running. One of them is in like a high school graduation gown. All but one of them run into this high school. He turns around, runs back to the alley, gets in a silver Altima, and takes off down the street.
Could you tell, was it a newer model?
Older, probably pre-2010.
And what did he look like?
So he was maybe a light-skinned black male. Yeah, pretty fair skin though. And he had a beard. Yeah.
So you said that the group of the 5 or 6 kind of looked like they were in graduation gowns, or how old did they look?
One was in a graduation gown. The rest looked like they may have been like family.
Okay.
And they all ran into there.
Okay.
I saw some kids, or a kid, wearing a graduation gown. It was blue. And then the group of people over here out of a car. I saw another guy backed it. Like, I just saw strange cars that aren't usually here. And I was driving in circles because this is a rental car and I can't park it back here. And I'm looking for parking on the street, so I've just been circling. And I noticed some weird activity, and I just had this gut-wrenching feeling that someone was about to get shot because there were just weird people back here. And I saw this kid, this guy right here who shot, he was over here talking to some girl. And last minute I saw him over there. I turned the corner, and then all of a sudden I went back this way and I heard a gunshot when I was on this side of the road.
As the victim's body lies in the alley, lifeless, motionless, investigators gather as much evidence as they can. They know the perpetrator is likely a high school student, and the murder might have been a family affair.
Number 49. Okay. What did she say? So she said she's seen a group of kids with cap and gowns on. Only one. She just felt like something was going to happen.
I knew something was going to happen.
It just didn't look right.
It didn't feel right because I live here and there's...
What were you at in your room, or were you down there?
There's a rental car. I'm trying to look for parking. I can't park it back here because it'll tow it. I was looking for parking on the streets.
17 or 15 miles.
When we're back here, there was a gold Nissan. And then another gold car. I'm not sure what car it was, but it looked older. And it looked like younger kids in the car. And then we were walking around this area. And then this kid for sure was over here. Because I don't know if he threw out the trash or something. He was wearing an apron, so he must be at work. And I don't know. I just saw him over here talking to someone, and I circled around this way in front of Central. For whatever reason, I didn't come back through. I was circling around, and I just had a weird feeling. I was like, something's going to happen, and I heard a shot. So I went back.
You heard one shot?
Just one.
One shot?
And people started scrambling around. They were running. And so that was when I had 911 go.
The apron on the victim tells investigators that he's likely an employee at the nearby diner.
Just real quickly, I kind of spoke to that other officer, so my understanding is you guys didn't actually witness anything, but you do have some information on our victim here, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I just, he was at work. He was at work, and then he hadn't been around for, 20 minutes, a half an hour and stuff, and I went looking for him. Like, where is he? Because he'll, sometimes he sends them to the store or to go make a delivery someplace and stuff, so I thought, did he go make a delivery? Like, we were ready to open back here, and he's supposed to be going back and forth. He like does dishes, but we're trying to train him to do some of this stuff back here. And it was like, you know, that's his MO. He always just disappears.
And so you guys are both employees here?
No, we own the restaurant.
You guys own the restaurant, okay, my apologies. Will you guys be here for a little while?
Like, what's a little one?
I don't have a time frame, but maybe an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If I can, just get your information right now, and then as we make the rounds, I'm just trying to establish how many people we need to talk to. As soon as I have that list together and over to my supervisor, then we'll start coming back and actually speaking.
My daughter knows the girl, and she's the one that called my daughter back. And I went outside to look for Jay because I thought I saw the police cars come and stuff, and I thought, oh, he's back there just like trying to see what's going on or something, you know. And she caught me and said, it was Jay. It was Jay that got shot back there.
His name was Jose, but the staff at the diner knew him as Jay. He was 16 years old, a high school student, just a couple of years shy of graduating and entering adulthood.
Somebody has got to get a hold of his grandfather.
Okay, his grandfather?
Yeah.
He works at where?
Johnny Montoya. He works at, they live over here. Took the kid in. I mean, I think they're close, you know, I don't know.
Terry,
like,
is that something that you could coordinate with them on? Okay.
I mean, I'm sure the apartment knows how to get a hold of, and he must have some like work information and stuff.
In case of emergency?
No.
Okay, that's okay.
No, the kid just started working here.
Ruiz's grandfather, Johnny Montoya, is a regular at Lindy's Diner law enforcement, meets him outside the entrance and asks to speak with him.
Do you know where his parents?
We'll just let so like I said, those other detectives will be in touch with you. Are you going to hang out here at Lindy's?
He was involved with something, but I could never get the truth from him. I could never get the truth.
Yeah. What can I do? What can I do for you?
I don't know what he was involved with. Somebody was out there or something like that.
I don't know. He just seemed like such a good kid. He seemed like a good kid that had, you know, gone astray.
Hey, Carol. Jay's dead. Yeah, we don't know exactly what happened, but I'll call you. Jay was killed. Okay, let me talk to you in a while, okay?
Oh my God.
Now that detectives have identified the victim as host waiter Ruiz and informed his family of his death, they can put their full efforts and focus into fitting his killer. At the school near the scene of the shooting, investigators locate two families who were in the alleyway when the gun was fired.
There's two separate families that are each in a room right now, and both of them said that they saw someone get shot, and they were pretty shaken up. I'm not certain if they know who it was or not, or what else happened. And I think there was one officer when I was back there last that was with one of the families. I'm not sure if there's more now or not. Oh, go back.
Yeah, we'll head us back. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah. So this is one family over here, and then the other family's in there.
Okay,
so I didn't let them know they've been detained or anything like that.
Oh yeah. So, cool. Thanks so much for that.
No problem. One of the gentlemen's in the back of the car.
What's that?
One of the guys is in the back.
Which?
This family.
Okay, so we'll start in here. I think.
Where were you guys at?
We were all opening our doors for the car. Yeah.
So you were in the vehicle together?
Yeah, we were outside. When we heard the gunshot, we were outside. And we were opening the doors to get in the car when we heard the sound.
Were you leaving from here?
Yeah.
Do you have from school? Yeah. Do you mind if I talk to how old are you? 17. And your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we actually talk to you two separately, and I can maybe talk to you?
Yeah.
Vice versa, I can talk to them if you want. Are you sister or?
The detectives separate the family members to get individual accounts of what happened. They hope that one of the witnesses will be able to help identify the young male suspect who other witnesses described.
Yeah, basically everything happened so fast. I didn't know to get in the car or run to school, so I got in the car just to duck her. And then we couldn't get the stroller in the car, like undo it fast enough. So I just ran in here to the school.
So you went, so you kind of went to the vehicle at first, just for a little shelter.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't get the stroller situated.
Yeah, I couldn't get the stroller in, so I just ran into the school with it. And I just remember all of us, when we heard the gunshot, I like panicked, like I got her. And I was just looking around me, and it looked like they were running to the school first. And
I just heard someone yell, someone's dead over there. And then I still had her, and I looked, and I just see like the guy, I think in my room, laying on the floor. And then the car zoomed. At this point, I'm dead sorry. I had already been in the car. At this point, I'm running back to the school, and that's when the car that shot from just zoomed past us.
Okay.
And cut the person off in the main street.
I hear the gunshot go off, I see the birds, and I just get in the car and close the door.
So how long after that? Because I understand you guys eventually came inside.
Maybe like less than 15 seconds. It was around 15 seconds. It was just, do we leave? Should we just try to get out as fast as possible, or would staying here be the safer option? So that was it really, but once we saw everyone was going to the school, that's where we went.
On the perpetrator, detectives start searching for one thing every witness account has in common: the gold car. Meanwhile, Montoya is still waiting with law enforcement outside the diner. That's where he gives investigators some insight into what was happening in his grandson's life at the time he was killed.
Yeah, the girlfriend over there at my apartment, and she's pregnant.
At your apartment right now?
Yeah, he called me this morning and told me, hey, you're gonna be a great grandpa, is what he told me. So.
Okay. Who's his girlfriend?
Elizabeth, I think it's Baldanado.
She's at your apartment
Right now, yeah.
Is there anybody else over there?
No.
Investigators wonder if a teen pregnancy could have been a heavy enough stress for someone to snap. The only way for detectives to find out is to head to Montoya's apartment and talk to the mom, to be Elizabeth Baldanado.
She's at her.
Hi, Elizabeth? Yeah? Can we talk to you about your decision? Yeah. You want to talk to you in there? Because of the TV? Yeah. Do you mind if we come in here? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm not gonna shut it over. I'm just gonna pull it shut just a little bit.
How are you?
Not good.
Not good? No?
Did he already tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry for your loss.
And again, I don't know if he told you that.
Do you have a picture of Josue?
Yeah, I have several pictures.
Yeah, can I see them?
That picture was a few months ago. Right now, his hair is a little longer.
Okay. Thank you. Well, like I said, I'm so sorry for your loss, Elizabeth.
I'm in here, Mom.
Oh, is that your mom? Okay.
Bado's mother suddenly appears inside the apartment as one detective speaks to her mom outside the door. Detective Anna sees what she can learn from Ruiz's girlfriend.
I wouldn't know what to tell you, honestly.
Okay, so let's start with today. What did you guys do today?
He took a shower at like 8 o'clock. He was getting ready to go to work at 10. He left around 9:50 something. I was making appointments today because we found out that I'm pregnant, and he told me to. Well, he was texting me still until at least around 12 o'clock, and then he stopped answering me for a few hours.
And he was texting you
On Messenger.
on Messenger, like Facebook?
Yeah. Let me check exactly what time he last texted me. It was at 11:11. That's when he texted me the last.
Well, what did he say? Do you mind if I look at it?
It's because he wanted me to do Presbyterian because I want to do loveless and stuff.
Okay. And so
that's all he told me.
Press this closer. Okay. And then you continued messaging and he didn't answer.
No.
Okay. Do you guys always talk on Messenger?
Yeah. Because we get into arguments and stuff, and we block each other, and then we unblock each other, and it's just a big mess.
The timeline of the messages between Ruiz and Baldanado lines up with what witnesses told detectives earlier, that they had heard gunshots around 11:20 a.m. less than 10 minutes after Ruiz last texted his girlfriend Ruiz, was only about an hour into his shift at the diner. And despite being on the clock, it turns out Ruiz had other plans that morning.
Mercedes, got someone in Albuquerque that can pull up tomorrow morning at 8? My snap got deleted and I ain't got anyone I can call.
This morning, him and my brother were supposed to box it out because this has nothing to do with this at all. My brother and him just don't get along. They bump heads very much. But my brother would never do this. He knows how I feel about Jade. He knows how that would crush.
And which brother?
My younger brother.
Your younger brother? What's his name?
Angelo.
When investigators see Ruiz's messages from March 3rd, the day before the fight was supposed to take place 2011, they discover something shocking. It wasn't Ruiz or Baldanado. 16-year-old brother Angelo Baldanado planning the fight. According to the messages, Baldanado mom, 49-year-old Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez, was the orchestrator. Now, investigators need to talk to Angelo Baldanado to get his side. Was it true that his own mother had planned for him to box his sister's boyfriend? Angelo Baldanado was working that evening at Slapfish Restaurant in uptown Albuquerque, about a 10-minute drive from where the shooting took place earlier that morning. But according to him and his sister, he didn't have his own car to take him there. Luckily, his mom had been able to help him get around in her car, a 4-door sedan. Dan Angelo tells detectives that he was going to box Ruiz for allegedly hitting his sister, but ultimately the fight never took place. Instead, he claims he spent much of his day with his mom, who happens to appear at Slapfish, and interrupts the interview claiming he's a minor and doesn't need to speak with police. By this time, police have spoken to Chavez briefly at Montoya's apartment. She had mentioned that her car, a gold Toyota, happened to break down that morning after a full day of witness interviews. Detectives wonder if that really is the case, or if there could be a more sinister reason Chavez might have abandoned her vehicle.
Elizabeth, so I'm gonna read you your rights, okay?
Why?
Just because I have some more detailed questions I want to ask, and I want to make sure that you understand your rights.
I mean, I don't want to answer no questions I don't understand.
So I have more questions about your car.
Okay.
But I can't ask them without reading you your rights, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that? Okay. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. Do you understand that? You have the right to consult an attorney before speaking to the police and to have an attorney present during questioning now or in the future. Do you understand that? If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you wish. Do you understand that? If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you'll still have the right to stop answering until you talk to an attorney. Do you understand that?
I believe so, yes.
I have some more questions about your car, okay? Because the car is not where you're saying you left it at. Okay?
So you stole my car?
That's why I'm talking to you. I want to know.
So I have to call my car was stolen.
So here's the thing, okay? So I believe your car was used in today's homicide. Okay?
You're lying to me.
No, I am not. Okay, so if you don't tell me who had your car,
I don't know.
It's your car.
I left my car at the side of the road.
Okay.
I didn't lend my car to nobody.
And did you leave it on the side of the road right next to your house?
No, I live quite a ways from, what's it called, Wyoming, and Moon is where my house is, in between those streets.
Okay.
And Pennsylvania's a ways.
Okay, so it's not right by your house?
No.
Okay. So talking to your daughter, talking to mom,
Okay.
nobody has a problem with Jay other than...
But my son said he wouldn't let me to farm, and I was with him today.
Okay. So you were with them all day?
Yes.
They went to the laundromat with you?
They did not go to the laundromat with me. During that time, they were all at home.
But you wouldn't know because you weren't home. Correct?
Between the hours of 1:37 and 2:20, I was gone at the laundromat alone. I got dropped off from Big Serena. My children, all the boys, they were all still at home. None of them left.
Okay. they're not allowed to leave the house unless they have permission, because I need to know where they're going.
So then if they were home, because you said you were on your way over here, right? When your car broke down. That was what you told me.
Yes, between 9 and 10 in the morning.
You were on your way over here.
Mm-hmm.
By yourself.
I'm by myself, yes.
Okay.
And
So then
I'm still at the house.
Okay. So then when I find video surveillance from the incident.
Okay, but you have to give me a moment.
Okay.
My son had an interview at 9 o'clock, and we were over at the Whataburger over there, Cottonwood or whatever. So it had to have been after 10, between 10 and 10:30 perhaps. I left the house shortly after I had spoke to Elizabeth. And I never made it.
Let's backtrack now. So you're saying it broke down, I left my car there. We've been driving up and down. I know. We've been driving up and down trying to find your car. We've called in, checked to see if it was towed. It has not been towed. And again.
So then what's my problem?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
Okay? So, did you shoot?
No, I didn't. No. He's a kid. He's a baby.
I know, but somebody did.
But no. I have no reason to do anything.
Okay, so then you leave your car, right? You leave your car, you walk back home, and then at 1:37, it takes you to the laundromat. At 2:20, you come back, and then obviously all this is going on, right?
I'm sorry, I just completely zoned out on you because I'm just
Okay. So, and again, I am recording. I am gonna remind you that there is video surveillance footage in that alley.
I heard you.
I'm gonna find out.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for, and I mean, it might be ready, I don't know, because I've been here interviewing everybody, but I do have officers there trying to pull the video surveillance. So I am gonna find out what happened, being that you bring up your car and it matches the description that I was given.
What do you mean?
There was witnesses.
Okay.
Okay, there's witnesses in the area. There's a school there. I don't know if you know that,
I was not there.
Okay, but I'm telling you, your car was.
So these are all the cameras that are running on 2 systems, digital and analog. The analog sucks, so there's a fair warning.
Perfect.
This faces the alleyway.
Back in the downtown area where the shooting took place, investigators are already comparing witness statements with security footage that captured Chavez's car speeding away.
Once the shot happens, the people loading the vehicle will react. So it's the individual walks the vehicle somewhere right here.
Yeah, so he just walked to the passenger side.
And they react.
Is this victim? It almost looks like a Toyota. Can we rewind it?
And it can also slow down as well.
The footage matches investigators' timeline witness statements and timestamps for messages between the soon-tow parents, Elizabeth Baldanado and Josue Ruiz. The only thing not adding up is the story detectives are getting from Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez.
So again, right now, because you're telling me you left the house around this time, and between 9:58, that phone call, until 1:37, hear me out, between...
I was home though, after that. I was home by 10:30. I made it home. I walked home.
Okay, again, I can't confirm that yet.
This is craziness.
Because again, I'm telling you, based on your demeanor, I think you know what happened. And I know it's your car. And I am gonna confirm it on video surveillance.
I hope you do, because I'm like lost right now.
Without the confession or any physical evidence tying Chavez herself to the scene, detectives have no choice but to walk away and gather more information before an arrest can be made. In the weeks following the shooting, Albuquerque PD obtains warrants for multiple cell phones, including Angelo Baldanado, and reads through thousands of messages. They're also able to track Angelo's phone to the alley at the exact time Josue was murdered, and some of the messages between Ruiz and his girlfriend lead investigators to believe the plan was always that Angelo Baldanado would bring more than his fist to the alley that day.
Are you still gonna fight them?
Yes, that's not changing. I prefer not tomorrow because my hands are up and I have to work. But oh well, they're gonna act all cocky right now, and that's gonna f them over.
I know.
They better not jump me because I'm having Darnie come and watch, just in case. It's one of the only people I'm with that can beat my too.
I don't know who that is.
Donovan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so better hope they don't pull no.
I'll be there too.
Why?
Because I don't want anything like they pull a gun out.
That's why he's there.
I don't care. I'm going.
Elizabeth Baldanato's statement about the potential involvement of a gun leads investigators to question if she knew more than is letting on. On March 23rd, they bring her downtown for a formal interview.
It's interesting, and I'm gonna tell you, maybe you don't know, maybe they have kept you in the blue. But I'm gonna tell you right now that your mom said she drove Angelo to his interview. Guess what? Angelo said he borrowed the car from your mom and he drove himself to the interview. He used your mom's car to go to McDonald's and Anthony. So obviously, somebody's lying. And again, the reason I'm sitting here asking you more questions is because you seemed a little more innocent and oblivious to things, but based off of your phone and the conversations I have been able to see, you know, when I brought up who owns guns, you were like, nobody does. When your little niece was like, oh, yeah, they do. You and your mom were like, no, nobody owns guns. Well, guess what? In your phone, you're talking about guns. And who has guns? You're also talking about, there's also a conversation that you ask Josue if he wants to buy drugs off of for him to sell. And I'm not making that up. It's from your phone, and
I know it's in there. I know.
I know Josue bought a gun, and that gun disappeared.
He didn't buy a gun.
Yes, he did.
When?
It's on your phone messages.
He didn't buy a gun. He didn't even take a gun.
Okay. Well, what are the odds that I see that he gets a Glock, and I have to look at your phone to give the specifics of the gun? He says he got a Glock, and then the gun disappears. He asks you where it is. You tell him it's under the mattress or in between the wall, and he says it's not here, and you're like, it has to be there, and he's like, well, it's not here. It's missing. That's from your phone.
No, I never said any of that. He never told me he had a gun. Ever. He told me he was going to get one, yes, but he never told me he had a gun.
Okay, so what went missing?
What are you talking about? What went missing?
Literally, after he says he's gonna get that gun that day, you guys start talking about something missing.
Detectives think Baldanado could try to protect her mom and brother. They circle back to the fight, but she isn't budging on her story.
You made it seem like Josue, Jay, is the one that planned the whole fighting with.
He wanted to fight.
Right.
He wanted to do it.
He reaches out to you, asks you to ask your mom, so then you ask your mom and your mom sets it up.
No, actually, he called after he asked.
Okay.
If you look at the messages, actually, he asks, and I don't remember what I tell him, but then he calls and he asks my mom.
But you helped him set it up.
No, I didn't. I did not, because I would not want them to fight.
Okay.
I hate fighting as it is.
Okay. So, all right. So then he tells you, you're like, reach out to my mom. Then your mom sets up the fight.
They did. Both of them. Not me or my mom. You are.
You don't have to be upset with me. It's things I'm seeing on
You're
your phone.
making me upset. You're telling me that my family did it when I know they didn't. My mom understood that if anything were to happen to him, I would not talk to any of them ever again.
Elizabeth Baldanado, who turned 18 days before the interview at the police station at one time, seemed willing to cooperate with investigators to find her boyfriend's killer. Now detectives aren't so sure. What they do know is that the phone records place...
You have to realize, Elizabeth, that somebody took your baby's dad's life, and now that baby is not gonna have a father. And as much as you love your family, they still took your baby's dad away.
Armed with the location data and phone messages, detectives are eager to close the case on May 19th, 2022. They make a surprise visit to the Chavez residence while searching for a possible home address.
I just realized my mom left to work.
Your mom left to work?
Yeah.
Who are you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what's your name?
Can I ask why?
You're not in trouble or anything, my man. We just want to talk to some people, and we understand they live here. So if you're one of the people we want to talk to, we'd like to chat with you.
She's not like my mom. I'm their friend.
Oh, okay. It's your mom? Yeah. What's your name, brother?
Oh, hi Gilbert. How are you?
Mike.
Who else is in the house? Do you mind if I? Your sister? Is Elizabeth here too?
Elizabeth, my little sister. You want me to go get her?
Yeah, she knows who I am. Can I actually talk to you, Gilbert? You know what it's about because, you know, I've already done some research. Get your hand out of your pocket for me, please. Thank you, I appreciate it. You already know what this is about. So I'd like to give you the opportunity to explain why you told Elizabeth that.
Oh, this is what?
Gilbert, I'm not going to talk to you right here in the door. Do you want to come talk to me over here? Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Good. Good? Okay. Is your mom here?
She's showering right now.
Showering right now? Okay. Is Deshaun here?
No.
Jawan?
No.
Anthony? Annalise? No? Okay. You might want to go tell your mom that I would like to talk to her again. I'm going to talk to Gilbert if he's willing to speak with me. But you said she's in the shower, so she might want to start getting ready. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And Gilbert, again, I don't want to talk to you right here in front of the door. Do you mind coming even over here? And Gilbert, you want you to let me know you're not in trouble right now, okay? But I do have some questions. And yes, wait for, there should be Elizabeth and Elizabeth's mom, hopefully. All right, Gilbert, you want to go in the shade? No? All right. So, Gilbert, tell me what you know. Okay, this is about Elizabeth's boyfriend's death. You know what it's about, so let's not play games today, okay? No, it's my car. It's alright. Okay, I know, again, Gilbert, I know you know why I'm here.
Yeah, now I do.
Okay.
Come on.
So, tell me what you know.
Like I said, I just moved here. Like,
I'm not gonna play games with you, okay? I know you threatened to take care of Josue.
Yeah, but I didn't even I wasn't even up here. I couldn't even do nothing.
Okay, so obviously you do know why I'm here and why I'm talking to you now. So now that we got that out of the way, you want to discuss, or do you want me to just take it for at face value? I already saw the Facebook, so...
Do whatever. I didn't do. I'll tell you that right now, so you can do whatever I didn't do, so...
Okay, so...
I'm innocent.
Okay, so, again, in your Facebook, you do disclose and say you're going to send somebody to take care of you.
Yeah, but did I send
anybody?
Okay,
well, who'd you send? Because he died.
I didn't send nobody.
Do I need to be any clearer? He died.
I know he died. You guys just told me that.
Well, you know because that's Elizabeth's...
Yeah, but I didn't send nobody.
Baby daddy.
Ain't nobody want to do it.
Armed with the location data and phone messages, detectives are eager to close the case on May 19th, 2022. They make a surprise visit to the Chavez residence while searching for a possible home address.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
My bad.
All right, so then let's start from the beginning. What did Josue do that upset you for you to make such threats?
Hit my sister.
Hit your sister? Okay, how do you know?
Because my sister told me.
Okay, what did she say?
She said that if I told her I said that she would take me off. Anybody, let's bring his little sister, you know what I'm saying?
Again, you have to realize that I'm investigating a homicide. Okay, a homicide in which you threatened to kill my victim.
So you're gonna take my phone?
Yes. You take your phone, I'm gonna do a warrant on it. If for
all I
any
gotta say is just don't take pictures, you know what I'm saying? I just wanna see something, but it's a whole lot of something.
Okay. Well, I won't look at pictures, but I am interested in who you've been talking to, text messages, and so on, so I am gonna do a warrant on it, okay? again, you know, I've gathered phones, and based off of everybody's phone, not just Josue's phone, you were gonna set up a fight. You said you didn't, and you didn't want to, but the fight was gonna happen.
He said, well, come over in the morning. I was like, wait a minute, come over in the morning. And my son Angelo told me like this. He goes, Mom, I'm not going to fight him. He goes, I'm not trying to get into a fight. He goes, I have more respect for my sister than that. And that's how that went down.
Messages police downloaded from Ruiz and Angelo's phones in March 2022 tell a different story.
There was going to be at least 4 of them, too. 8 o'clock, the mom said. And it's 9. Man, her family a bunch of, I swear. But mom was supposed to bring everyone that was looking for me this morning at 8 to run ones. And it's 9:08.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? When I charge someone, you're gonna be charged along because I know you're hiding the truth and I know you're listening to me, and it would suck for Aurora and Elizabeth's baby to not be present, for you not to be present, because I will charge you because I do know you were gonna set up that fight that day. The end.
Young lady, I did not set no fight up. You're wrong. And I promise to God, you're not wrong.
Your daughter's fault. Still pregnant?
Yeah. How far along are you? Well, from my menstrual cycle, she said 14 weeks and 7 days. And the ultrasound lady said 15 weeks today when I agreed, which was yesterday. I had my appointment on Tuesday.
So 2 days ago?
Yes, so I'm
anywhere between 14 and 15, yeah?
It's exciting.
How you been feeling?
Tired.
Tired?
Every day, I don't want to get up, you know?
Elizabeth, you know, I don't know if you want to move further away so that nobody hears, but here's the thing, okay? We talked last time, and I know you were very upset, and I can't imagine what you're going through because you're kind of put in between. But I already know you know what happened.
I don't know what happened at all. All I know is that when his grandpa got back, he told me that Jay was dead. Just thinking about that, just
Do you want to talk in my car?
Who would have done it? Which drives me nuts.
I already know who did it. Actually, I don't even have to say anything, okay? I would just hate, and I truly, from the bottom of my heart, still believe that you weren't involved. But I would just hate to find out that you were involved. And then where does that baby go? Because he no longer has a dad. And at this point, with your mom's behavior, with your brother's behavior, I don't want all of you to end up in jail, and then where does this baby go?
I've already told you I don't know. They don't talk about they don't talk about it because it gets me, you know, like sad.
You know what makes me believe that you weren't involved? That you're the one who told me that they were planning to fight that day and that your brother and his friends didn't show up. You're the one who told me that Gilbert had threatened Josue, right?
But my brother Gibby wouldn't have done anything because...
Okay, well, hear me out, okay? So that's why I have no reason to believe you were involved. However, being that you've been living here makes me believe that you already know. There's no way you living here and you don't know what happened. There's no way.
I don't. I really don't.
You're not gonna change my mind because, I mean, is it weird that she lives here and she knows nothing?
Elizabeth, you have to think about. Can I talk to you for a sec, Elizabeth?
What?
So
say something else.
I know we're not trying to you know upset you any more than you already are or anything like that. But you have to think about how when this case goes to court, one, when people get arrested for things like this, they don't care whose family, friends, or whoever else they can or will throw under the bus to try to get themselves a better deal. One, two. When this goes to court and a jury of 12 random people are hearing about this and they hear that you're back over here, don't worry about what I think about it. Don't worry about what Anna thinks about it. Think about what those 12 people are going to think about it.
On June 15th, detectives returned to the Chavez home with a warrant to conduct a search. Angelo Baldanado, Elizabeth Ortiz, Chavez and another family member wait at a public park after the search police have enough evidence to make an arrest. 16-year-old Angelo Baldanado is taken into police custody on June 15, 2022, for Josue Ruiz's murder more than 3 months after Ruiz was shot and his body was left in a downtown alleyway. On the case obtained the messages, and it was all over for Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez. Though no documents confirm Ruiz ever had a gun with him that day, the rest of the story was corroborated by Angelo Baldanado, who on March 25, 2023 finally decided he would not go down alone for his mother's crime. Elizabeth Ortiz Chavez was charged with murder on May 5, 2023. She pleaded guilty and now faces up to 18 years in prison. If she receives the maximum sentence, she will be 68 years old when she's released. A sentencing date has not yet been set. Angelo Baldanado was serving his 4-year sentence in the Baralo County Juvenile Detention Center. He will be 21 years old when he is released. And lastly, according to social media posts in November 2022, Elizabeth Baldanado gave birth to the baby boy she shares with the late Josue Ruiz.